Of all the detectives and even street cops or crime scene investigators, it doesn't really matter. If they're part of the investigative process, they're going to be also working with victims and victims' families. And I agree with you. I think that's got to be one of the more emotionally taxing portions of it, because I'm sure a victim's family, just like we're sitting here talking about all these horrific crimes and the mental processes that people...
Purely theoretically.
Right. But it's like trying to explain the abyss, because that has to be one of the most harrowing questions that's out there for every victim and his victim's family is,
how could this happen to me?
Right. And why did this happen?
Yeah.
And for a detective to sit there, especially one that maybe hasn't gone through your training or even real extensive training when they actually talk about the abyss. So he or she may not know. And then how do you sit there in front of a grieving parent or somebody saying, explain to me, you're supposed to be the expert. You're the detective. You're the guy that's gone through this forever. And maybe this is a Cloyd question because of all the times that he's had to do it. But how do those detectives not only process the case that they're working on, and all of them are emotionally invested in it, and then to also have to deal with the families and try to explain to them, not just physically and mentally what they're doing in order to solve the case, but also how do you provide any level of comfort to these victims and victims' families?
Well, how do you bring the structure or the meaning back to it, like what we were talking about before, right? Like these people were living their lives, and then suddenly one day someone just grabbed their heads and said, hey, here's the abyss, look at it.